Hi, in this tutorial we're going to look at how we make custom brushes in Adobe Illustrator. Before we start, let's look at a result, and there is this poster here. If we go to our View menu and we choose Outline, we will see that there are only a few strokes there. The reason how it looks like it has so many black and white lines is because it is using a custom brush. So, let's go to our new document and let's see how we begin. The first thing we must do when we create a custom brush is that we need to create some artwork first. Now, I have some here that I've already made. The way that I did that was that I used the rectangle tool, and working with fill only, I drew a long, thin shape. So this is going to be the basic element of my stripes. Using the select tool and holding my finger down on the option key, I click and drag once to duplicate it, making sure that the edges are touching. After that, using Command and D, I repeat that step and create other duplicates. Selecting every second line and filling it when I have with a white color. So I'm going to go for those, and now coming to my swatches, I'm going to the fill and choosing white. Now I can make it any color I'd like, but I'm just going to stick with black and white at the moment. Once I've made those, I'm now going to open my brushes palette. If you don't have this open, remember that all of your palettes are available in the window option. If I come to here, we'll see that everything is alphabetical and we have B for brushes. I'll just pull that over here. I grab this and I drag it into the palette. A new brush dialog box opens up and it asks me what kind of brush I'd like to make. For our purposes, we choose Art Brush. I select that, and when I click OK, another option comes up. It is asking me first, what do I want to name this? I will call this Stripes V for vertical, and what direction do I want my stripes to go in? So this blue line here represents the stroke. I don't want my stripes to run that way. I want them to run this way. And so I click on OK. Now that I have this stroke, this means that, well, first I'll just remove this. I could use my pen tool by making sure that it is only straight lines. There we go. Let's go back. And the stripes should flow fine here, of which they do. Let's delete that. But if I'm somewhat careless with my curve making, we should see that I'm going to get unpredictable results. And there we do. This we would consider to be not ideal. To continue along our path, no pun intended, I'm going to use once again the ellipse tool. Holding down the shift key, I click and drag so that my circles width and height are constrained to each other. Now that I've selected that, I click on the stripes V and they are added around the circle. Let's go to a new board. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing. And in this case, I'm going to show you how I made the smaller components. If we look at the poster once again, if we simply look at the letter S, the way that was constructed is that if we think of here being one semicircle leading into another semicircle which has a quarter circle, or could itself be a 3/4 circle, and then over here I have another quarter circle. Coming back to our file, all of those components can be made out of the current object that we have in front of us. All I need to do is to duplicate it and to cut off the parts that I don't need. So let's duplicate one. Let's select those. And let's duplicate down. And there we have it. First, I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to select the first point on the path and use the scissor tool here to cut the anchor point. I'm choosing another anchor point and I'm cutting again. In this one, I'm going to delete out that section. So there is my 3/4 circle. I'm going to select this one now and use the direct selection tool. Select that anchor point and cut, and select that anchor point and cut. I've now divided the circle into 2 equal pieces. If I select one of these, I can now delete that. Finally, I'm going to repeat the process one more time. Cut, select, cut, and this time I'll select the larger element and I'll delete that. I'll move the full circle away and we should be able to see how the letter S can be formed. If I get this part, and join it on to this part, well, I'd be most of the way there if the character wasn't backwards. So let's get these elements. This one, I'll turn it around. This one, I'll turn it that way. And then this one here, I'll give it a quarter turn and then attach it like so. And there we start to see the formation of a letter S. Now if I go back to the view menu and I go to my outline mode, we should see here that the paths are not perfectly touching. And that is why, when we go to our preview, our lines don't match. View, Outline, which has the shortcut of Command Y, and in this mode I will make sure that they are perfectly intersecting. Now that that has been achieved, there is our letter S. Thank you for watching.